Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenyan Revolutionary reporting on duty. Hey, I just wanted to touch on something because I love politics, especially Kenyan politics, as it relates to the world politics, okay? But back to local. Everything is local. As Bill Clinton used to say, all politics is local. So let's get back to Kenya. What I want to say about Kenyan politics, especially right now with everything that's happening, it's always two factions: the Kenya Kwanza side and Azimio side. Okay, the die-hard Raila Odinga fans and the Kenya Kwanza Ruto faction. Okay, but today I just wanted to address the Azimio-Raila die-hard fans. Most of Raila fans, okay, the die-hard ones especially, there's this process of infantilization of the Azimio brigade, okay? These guys are like children. They've been treated like children for a long time. And I'm not saying this because I'm a neutral in all of this. I'm just giving my view as I see it, especially on these platforms when you get in and try to reason with these guys and, you know, try to see what their heads, you know, like reason, especially on many issues. When I say infantilization process that has happened to these guys is they've been treated like children. No wonder they refer to Raila as Baba. Baba, 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 Baba. And their leaders call them cows. Isn't what is it? Not Duale. What's the Duale is Kenya Kwanza? What's the Somali guy from Suna who always hang out with Raila Odinga, who referred to Raila's supporters as cows, livestock. This is how these people think about you. And you know what? He wasn't that wrong. No offense. I'm not trying to go against Raila support. Not all Azimio supporters are infantilized. Okay? They are pretty reasonable people who voted for Azimio, who seemed reasonable, and they can walk you through the process, their thought process on why they voted for Raila Odinga, which I respect. Okay? If you reason, I'm okay with that. You know, but if you reach a point where you don't reason, you're just relying on your emotions to make your point, then there's no, you know, it's an exercise in futility. We can't get anywhere because you don't want to accept what's reality. Okay? You're insane at that point. Okay? Now, you might ask, why do I say this? Why do I come up with this? It is because of a series of events. These guys, I've watched them, I've debated some of them, and they ended up kicking me out from their live stream or their platform because once you start asking them questions and giving them facts, and the funny thing is that they always claim that they are all about facts. Okay? If you don't do your homework, if you don't come here with facts, we are not going to let you talk, whatever. But once you present them with facts, they get emotional, then they kick you out from their platforms. For example, this issue of IEBC, you know, and even Ndindi Nyoro today, just today, Ndindi Nyoro mentioned something about IEBC and said this whole point of this talks, this issue of auditing the server is a non-issue. And I've said several times in my platform here, saying that it's a non-issue. Why? Because the issue has been adjudicated on. The Supreme Court, Smoky Wanjala, he clearly stated, ask, can you show me anywhere where you think there was any monkey business happening that can point or suggest that the process in which this election voting process happened, okay, point at anything that you think that went wrong that might suggest that this election was rigged. And they could not. As much as I would hate to agree with Megan Whitman, the US ambassador to Kenya, she was right when she said this past election, 2022 Kenyan elections, was the freest election and most transparent. Because you did not have to wait for the IEBC chairman to actually announce the winner. We could see from the portals, the information that was being fed in the portals, through the portals, from all the 44,000 polling stations where the presidential election votes were signed, verified by both agents of Kenya Kwanza and Azimio and the presiding officer before they were sent through the portal for everyone to see. And then there was also the physical form, was it 34A, C, B, D, whatever it is, that the IEBC agent had to drive to Bomas to present to the IEBC chairman for them to announce it, okay? So once this, because remember the presidential election results were to be determined at the polling station, okay? So if polling station A had Raila winning with 100 votes and Ruto with 50 votes, both agents will sign, okay, just to ratify that that's the correct whatever after going through the results. Then they put it on the portal. And once it's on the portal, anyone can get access to it. You can be in New Zealand and see that, hey, there in whatever A, polling station A, that's the results. Okay, so it was that transparent. That's what we meant. Okay, so it was very hard for any information to be tampered with. If there was, we would have known by now, because not so many people, whether it was MCAs, MPs, governors, never complained much about what happened, the process. Okay, because it was clear, it was there. Okay, that's why even before the conclusion of this electoral process, Ruto knew he had won already, just based on the numbers. Okay, if you tally up all the polling stations across the nation, the 44,000 polling stations, you can pretty much determine who won. That's why people like me and other people, reasonable folks, are saying, why do you need the server? What is auditing of the server is going to help you with? Why? You don't need the server to actually ascertain on who actually won the elections. You don't need the server. But it's a clever ploy to actually keep Raila relevant. Just to put a little doubt on his die-hard, infantilized supporters to think that, hey, this thing was rigged. No, it wasn't. Raila lost. That's why even Uhuru Kenyatta, the chairman of Azimio, was like, you know what? Hey, I can fight this. I can fight this. Ruto, here, you won. You're the president. There was no need of fighting. There's no need to fight. You can't fight the truth. I did not vote for Ruto, but there's no evidence that suggests that Ruto lost. But back to my point. My point is this. These Azimio folks, and I think there's this platform specifically, and I don't think they support Raila per se. I think their main agenda is to act as if they are pro-Azimio, pro-Raila, die-hard Raila fans, so that they can get views. They're not doing it because they believe in what they say. These guys are, if they're smart enough, if they still support Raila with such zeal, there's nothing wrong with supporting Raila per se, but supporting this narrative, pushing this narrative that Raila actually won 2020 elections, if you truly still believe that, you need to see a psychiatrist. You need to see a psychiatrist quick, like right now. But anyway, I want to show you a clip of this exchange that I saw yesterday. I'm taking it from that platform. It's two pro-Raila, Azimio, infantilized, lobotomized parrots that were going against one guy who seemed reasonable, who was giving them facts about IEBC and how the process happens and watch the reaction. This was hilarious. Like, and the question they started asking after that, because they were arguing about the numbers, the voter turnout, the voter population, it was just insanely entertaining. But just watch the interaction. These guys had nothing on him. He was hitting them with the reality, and they were getting emotional, asking irrelevant questions. But this is what I say. Some of these guys, like I say, they get into this platform and argue just for the sake of argument, just to get views. They're not doing this to do the public any service. Okay? They're doing it for their selfish needs. Or Raila this, Raila this, Raila this, just to play into Raila supporters' base, their emotions, so they can tune in. Because Raila supporters are very emotional. Very, 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 very emotional. Okay? The diehard are infantilized. That's why you see they can never reason. It's all about emotions. But here's the clip that I'll play. It's from another live stream. I won't name that live stream. I'm not giving them credit. I didn't use their logo or anything. So sue me. But I just wanted, this is for education purpose only. That's why I'm playing it. I want people to see the difference when these guys are presented with facts. They cannot argue. They rely on emotions. Okay? But anyway, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment. Tell me about it. Do you think Raila supporters are infantilized? They're like children. You have to treat them like children. They're treated like children. That's why they refer to Raila Odinga as Baba, Baba, Baba. No grown man should refer to another man who is not their biological father as Baba. The only two people you should refer to as Baba is your biological dad or your heavenly father, God. Okay? If you refer to another person as Baba who is not biologically your father, you have a problem. You need to see a psychiatrist. But anyway, here's the video. Watch it, enjoy. And like I said, subscribe, share, like, and comment. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace and blessings.
Weka maji, weka maji.
Weke maji, taka ice kidogo. Leo acha nicheze devil's advocate, Mr. Njiru. Acha nikueleze. Number 1. Hakuna activity kubwa inafanyangwa hii Kenya, ama niseme tu Kenya for now, ambayo ni elaborate kama electoral process. IEBC is only a lead agency. Ukijua zile agencies ziko nyuma yake wakati wa hiyo job, sio Kenya Police, sio media houses, sio clergy, sio scholars, sio political parties, sio citizens wenyewe, yani service provider. It's the biggest event we do every 5 years. So trust you me, a lot of thinking and strategy has been put into it. So usidharau IEBC, nataka tu kuambia hivyo. Number 2, vile umesema 44,000 plus polling stations, and each has no more than 700 voters. No more. Yani hauwezi fanya ballot stashing. Hiyo kitu ilishanga kitambo. Huwezi sema ati sijui mtu amepata kura 5,000 kwa polling. Hiyo story iliishia hapo. Number 2, when it comes to presidential polling inaishianga hapo kwa polling station. Ya president haitokangi kwa polling station, inaishianga hapo. Na ndio maana huyo PO ni it's called what officer, not returning officer, the other guy is called in charge of a polling station,
presiding officer.
Thank you for reminding me. Presiding officer akisha count out of those 700 votes, anapiga picha, anatuma. Njiru, umeongea juu ya kamera. Najua kamera ni nini, hiyo kitu imefikiriwa. Usifanye tu ndo nafikiria saa hii. The best cameras are called human eyes. Ndio maana kuna agents. Unless party yetu haikuweka agents wa kutosha, agents ndio kamera. Macho yake na simu yake na mdomo yake. Hiyo ndio kamera tunajua the best. So kila agent, kila polling station ilikuwa na agents wa parties, akweni ODM, wa Wajakoya, wa Ruto na huyo mwingine ule blind alikuwa na run, si ndio? So kulikuwa na cameras in form of human eyes, na by the time mumesign hiyo form 34A ndio ipigwe picha.
Wewe Solomon, wewe.
I'm telling you this because I went through the process. I know you have to sign as an agent for every party that you agree to what has been counted, na inapigwa picha ndo inatumwa huko sijui Bomas, na hakuna hata presiding officer hata mmoja hata paka wa leo ashaenda kasimama kasema zile results yeye alipiga picha sio hizo, nionyesha hata mmoja, ama hata agent wa party hakuna. So tuseme process ya election uanga poa, kenye kwangi poa ni kenye uhappen huko Bomas. But in terms of watu kuamka by 5, watu kupanga line, watu kupatiwa 6 ballot papers ya president, ya governor, ya MCA, ya MP, ya women rep, na my friend, na zote hakuna governor na kujanga nasema ati amewekewa the wrong nini from the same polling station. My friend, tusiseme ati IEBC ifanyangi job.
Wewe Solomon.
Yeah, I said I'll play the devil's advocate. So let me.
Yeah, I know you're playing the devil's advocate, but I want to ask you a question.
Before you interject, no, once you interject, sometimes you kill our line of thought.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Let me just prosecute. I know you have questions. I'll just give me that moment. Our brains sometimes lose it. And I'm just trying to tell you, usidharau IEBC. Now, hiyo unasema ya Kalonzo anasema kukuwe na 9 IEBC commissioners from the previous 7. He's just looking for job for another 2 guys, because either or si hao wanafanya polling, si hao wanafanya anything, hao wana receive results. Washaika strategy, kazi inafanyangwa huku chini from the returning officer kwenda chini. And then remember, the only permanent employees wa IEBC ni returning officer. Come during the event of election, they employ people temporarily, presiding officers, I don't know who, watu wa kupea watu civil education, blah blah blah, and most of those people are from the civil service in form of either teachers, security officers, who ama just basically people from within the community. Yani hakuna mtu kwa mtaa ujuangi anafanyanga IEBC job temporary wakati wa hiyo job ikifika. The only permanent person there is only the returning officer, and you can count them in Kenya. They're only 290, sio wengi. So let me tell you, you cannot say that IEBC fails. Actually, IEBC does a very, very wonderful job. In fact, I've not seen any institution that does all that kind of mass work in such a short time. But they do that because they are marshalling a whole team. They're marshalling security people, media people, political parties, clergy, scholars, and the citizen voters themselves. Yani a whole country, one institution running the show, not the show, leading the team. It's teamwork, but IEBC are the lead. So kwa hiyo tusijiangushe, juu tumeset vizuri kwa katiba yetu how IEBC should run and how things should work. There are acts that specify how elections are carried out. The issue we have is trust, especially at our political level, our politicians, our leaders. Hiyo trust ninakuanga shida.
Solo niko na shida kuzunadanganya watu.
No, let me finish prosecuting, then you can come and say how I've lied. I have no problem. You know, if you don't agree with the game, you'll always blame the referee. Kama leo, ama ni jana, I think ni leo, game ya England versus Fiji rugby. Of course, guys of Fiji, we saw the ref was not fair. But anyway, that's what happens. If things go wrong, you go for the umpire. And the umpire here is IEBC. I understand. It's a human thing. So that's the point. All I'm just trying to say, do not throw stones at IEBC, because IEBC is a creature of our constitution. IEBC ijakreatiwa na ati somebody amekaa chini akai-create. No. Number 2, there's no way you can say ati political parties wapeleke watu wa IEBC. How? Kwani wewe Gor Mahia unajekeanga referee wako? It can't make sense. There has to be a third party, a third arbiter, an umpire, somebody neutral. Whether they influence or not, that's another story. but you cannot say ati sijui Jubilee ilete, sijui chama gani ilete, sijui Kenya Kwanza hiyo ita make sense. Umpires should be neutral and independent, but if they are compromised, that's a whole nother story. You can go and prove in a court of law. Now, the last thing I wanted to say is this guy Chebukati, mwenye mnasema alikuwa number 9 kwa list. Chebukati was Raila's guy. In fact, Raila made sure it is Chebukati who has become chairman. It is Raila who made sure before 2013, his guy Chebukati from ODM, alikuwa kwanza kwa ODM executive, has become chairman. So, msianze kusema ati when things don't go right, don't blame somebody. Yet, if you go at the history, it was the person of our team. Yani, Chebukati was an ODM person, a Raila person. You cannot even deny it. If Raila wanted Okombe there, ange-insist Okombe. I'll insist Chebukati ye mwenyewe. So, hiyo issue, for me, it doesn't carry any water. It carries no water. The other one is when you talk about election, it's not an event, it's a process. So number one, as a political party, if you do not have enough agents, that's your problem. As a political party, kama mjeducate voters wenyu, that's your problem. If within the whole political process, watu wa Jubilee ama Kenya Kwanza wameenda kwa nomination, mnajua hii area ya UDA, alafu mnaweka mafala, si watachaguliwa? The same thing with ODM. Ukiweka mafala kwa ODM zone, au mafala ndo wataingia juu huko ni landslide. Where a party is strong, it's landslide. In fact, una winning election during nomination. Unajua mimi ni wa Jubilee, niko Kiambu, naingia direct. I mean, it's just logic. So we can't say that it is the Kenyan people who choose these people. Inaanzianga na parties. So your party, make sure your party gets the right person at the right time. Kabla yawekwe pale kwa kiwanja ya kila mtu. That's another thing. Tusine tukidanganyananga ati hapa tulieka tugege gani? Uto tugege ni wale mulienda huko kufanya nomination mkawaweka. Si mungeweka wengine na mnajua huko ni ODM zone ama ni Jubilee zone. Wataingia either way. In fact, if you put a dog, nominate a dog in an ODM zone, ataingia. If you put a dog in a UDA zone, itaingia. Juni obvious. So, your argument for me also, it does not carry any water. Last but not least, I will tell you this for sure. These last elections, you did not even need IEBC to calculate for you the totals. You did not need Chebukati to calculate for you any totals. All you had to do was to get your calculator and go one by one those 44,000 polling stations. It was that simple. But then, if it was not that simple, then hakuna hata MCA basi moja alichaguliwa vizuri, ama governor, ama whatever. So kama ni nullify all those positions, turudi kwa debe sisi wote. Me, that's my thinking. Because mi naonanga zingine tunajizungusha na vitu zingine ambazo ziko obvious. Lakini pale juu kuna shida ya trust. Either we do not believe the outcome because we don't want to believe.
King Solomon, I'm really no. I'm getting your facts. I am very innocently.
It's not about you. It's about how it is. You are just an individual.
Okay, King Solomon. I just went through a list over here with Haron, and we asked where. And I think King Solomon sometimes. King Solomon, sometimes when you come to somewhere like here, you also, yes, I'll give you everything and you want to say to the people and whatever. But again, please, it's good to spare us.
I said I'm playing the devil's advocate.
But spare us. Even if you're going to play the devil's advocate, don't play the devil's advocate, my friend. Play the devil's advocate. You're playing the devil's advocate, my friend. You're doing it squared. Now you're starting to talk some things that don't even make any sense.
Which one? And show me which one. Tell me. Just be specific. Which one? Just be specific.
Let's
Tell
talk
me this
about.
point. Tell me.
Let's talk about your last.
My last point of Chebukati.
Ah,
That one is it's there, general knowledge.